Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Refine. I am your host, and I am so glad you are joining us today.
Hi there. I am the expert for today's show, and it is wonderful to be here talking with you all.
Yeah, it is going to be a really fun discussion. Today, we have a deep dive into a very interesting topic. Our mission today is to learn to talk about your dreams.
Right. And when we say dreams, we are actually talking about two different things.
Exactly. We mean the strange dreams you have at night while you're sleeping. But we also mean your waking dreams. Your big life goals and plans for the future.
Yes, both types of dreams are a huge part of being human, but there is a really big problem that we all face.
Oh, definitely. The problem is that it is incredibly hard to share them with other people.
Right. Have you ever tried to tell a friend about a dream you had last night? You start talking, and, well, within 10 seconds, their eyes just glaze over.
Yeah, they get so bored they start looking at their phone. You feel like you just lived a whole life on a glass spaceship. Nobody cares.
Exactly. And the same thing happens with our big goals during the day.
It really does. You try to tell your partner about a big life goal, or you try to tell a boss about your dream job, and it just sounds like a mess.
It comes out sounding completely confusing,
Yeah.
which is why our deep dive today is so important. We are going to look at information from psychology, language studies, and relationship advice to fix this.
Right, so we can finally learn how to understand our dreams
Yeah.
and share them in a way that people actually want to hear.
That is the goal. I like to think about it like an unedited home video.
Oh, that is a great way to look at it.
Yeah, your dreams are just raw video footage. The camera is shaking, the lighting is bad, and it is just hours of random stuff. If you force your friend to sit and watch raw video, they will hate it.
They will resent you for making them watch it.
Yeah.
So you have to become a good video editor. You have to learn how to cut it, organize it, and tell a good story.
Exactly. Before you can edit the video, you have to actually find the video. You have to capture it.
Right. Which brings us to the first part of our deep dive, capturing the hidden thoughts, the mechanics of night dreams.
And we hit a wall right away here because a lot of people will just tell you, I do not dream.
I hear that all the time. People think they go to sleep, their brain turns off like a computer, and they just wake up 8 hours later.
It is a very common myth. But a group called the Omega Institute looked at the science, and they say it is completely false.
Wow, really? So everyone dreams.
Yes, almost everyone has 4 or 5 dream periods every single night. Your brain is working very hard while you sleep.
Okay, so if the brain is making the dreams, why do people think they do not have them?
Because they just forget them. The data is there, but it is not being saved to their memory.
Ah, I see. There's a great story about this in our sources from a teacher named Charlie Morley. He runs classes on dreaming.
Right, the guy who said he never dreamed.
Yeah. This man goes to the class and says, very proudly, I have not had a single dream in 62 years.
He really believed his brain was just built differently.
He did, but the teacher did not argue with him. He just gave the man some simple steps to follow. And a week later, the man came back totally shocked.
Because he realized he had been dreaming his whole life. He just never paid attention to it.
That is wild. It just shows that we only remember what we think is important. So let us talk about those steps. How do we remember these dreams?
Morley has 5 simple steps. The very first step is having an intention.
An intention. So just making a plan or a wish.
It is a bit stronger than a wish. You are preparing your brain. He says you should say a simple phrase right before you fall asleep.
Like what kind of phrase?
Something like, tonight I will remember my dreams. I'm good at remembering dreams.
I mean, honestly, that sounds a little bit silly, like magic. Does just asking your brain to remember actually work?
It does sound like magic, but it is real science. There is a part of your brain that acts like a filter. It decides what to pay attention to.
Like how you never notice red cars until you buy a red car.
That is the perfect example. The red cars were always there, but your filter ignored them. When you set an intention before sleep, you are telling that filter, hey, dreams are important. Keep them.
You are telling the brain not to throw the dream in the trash. Okay, I love that. So step 2 is timing.
Yes. Waking up at the right time. Our sleep happens in cycles that are about 90 minutes long.
And some of those cycles have a lot of rapid eye movement or REM sleep, right?
Exactly. And as the night goes on, those REM periods get longer. So the longest dreams happen in the last 2 hours of sleep.
Oh, I see. So if you sleep for 8 hours, hours 7 and 8 are like a long movie.
Yes. So if you want to remember a dream, you should try waking up during that time. Maybe set an alarm for a little bit earlier than normal.
Okay, let us say I try that. The alarm rings. I open my eyes. I am in the right sleep window. but my mind is completely empty. No dreams at all.
That is very normal. And that is where step 3 comes in. This is called body memory.
This part is so interesting because we usually think dreams are just pictures in our head.
Right, but dreams are often stored in your physical body, not just your mind.
Wait, how does a story get saved in your body?
Well, when you dream, your brain makes your muscles freeze, so you do not get up and run around. It keeps you safe.
Okay, that is good.
But the rest of your body is still reacting. If you are running away from a bear in your dream, your heart is beating fast. Your body is making stress chemicals.
Wow. So your legs are not moving, but your body thinks you are really in danger.
Exactly. So when you wake up, the picture of the bear might be gone from your mind, but your body is still feeling that stress.
Oh, so the memory is in the feeling.
Yes. So if you wake up with a blank mind, do not move. Just lie very still in bed and check how your body feels.
So I should ask myself, like, is my jaw tight? Is my heart beating fast?
Right. Or maybe you feel really happy and relaxed in your chest. You look for any feeling in your body. That feeling is like a clue.
A clue that leads to step 4, working backwards.
Yes. You use that feeling in your body to rebuild the story. Let us say you wake up and your hands are in tight fists. You feel angry.
Okay, so I ask myself, why am I angry?
Exactly. Who was I talking to just now? Where was I standing?
Oh, I was yelling at my old boss.
And where were we? In my old high school. Slowly, the story comes back.
But there is a trap here, right?
Mm.
Because if I feel angry, I might try too hard. I might squeeze my eyes shut and say, think, why am I angry?
And if you do that, the dream will disappear instantly. It is like trying to hold on to smoke.
It really is. The harder you try, the faster it goes away.
Which is why step 5 is so important. Step 5 is patience.
Patience, because your logical, awake brain is very loud.
Very loud. If you try to force the memory, your awake brain takes over, and the soft, quiet dream memory gets crushed.
It is like trying to look at a very faint star at night.
Yeah.
If you look right at it, it vanishes. You have to look a little bit to the side.
I love that idea, looking to the side. If the dream does not come back right away, just let it go. Get out of bed, make your morning tea or coffee.
And sometimes when you're just doing something simple like drinking tea, boom, the dream comes rushing back.
Exactly. You are relaxed, and the brain lets the memory float up.
So we have the 5 steps: intention, timing, body memory, working backwards, and patience.
Yes. Now we have captured the raw video footage.
But now we have a new problem. Section 2, decoding the data. Because the video usually looks crazy.
It really does. You are driving a car made of bread, and your old math teacher is sitting next to you. It makes no sense.
Right, so what is the dream actually saying? There was a big study in psychology today by Kelly Bulkley and Mark Graves that looked into this.
Yes, they used a computer program to study the words people use to describe their dreams.
They took over 5,000 reports of normal, everyday dreams. Not crazy movie dreams, just normal Tuesday night dreams.
And they fed all those reports into this program to see what kind of language our brains use when we are asleep.
The results were so strange.
Yeah.
Because they found that dream language is very different from how we talk every day.
It is completely different. The program showed that dream reports read a lot like old English novels.
Like an old storybook. Why is that?
Well, they use a lot of I words. I went there. I saw this.
Right.
It is very focused on the person telling the story.
Right, and the study said they use lots of words about moving around and words about the idea of home.
Yes. Because when you are dreaming, you are not having a normal conversation. You do not have to be polite or listen to anyone else.
You were just the star of your own movie.
Exactly. And the researchers called this authentic language.
Authentic language, meaning it is completely real and honest. I find that so fascinating.
Think about it. When we are awake, we filter almost everything we say.
Oh, sure. We want to sound smart or we want to be nice. We hide what we really think.
Your brain is acting like a public relations manager, making sure you look good.
But when you are asleep, that manager is off duty.
Exactly. There is no audience to impress. So the dream is completely uncensored. It just shows your raw, honest feelings.
It does not care if it looks weird. It just tells the truth. But the study did not just look at normal dreams. They looked at strange ones, too.
Yes, they look at lucid dreams and nightmares.
Let us explain lucid dreams quickly for our English learners. That is when you're dreaming and suddenly you realize, hey, I am in a dream.
Right. You wake up inside the dream and you can often control what happens.
You would think that if you wake up in a dream, you would look around and use lots of words to describe the beautiful colors or the places.
But the computer program found the exact opposite.
Really, they do not use words about seeing things.
No. Lucid dreams use very few visual words. Instead, they use a ton of thinking words, words about realizing and understanding.
Wait, why? If you are awake in a magical dream world, why are you not looking at it?
Because it takes a massive amount of brain power to know that you are dreaming while you are asleep.
Ah, so your brain is working too hard on just staying awake inside the dream.
Exactly. Your brain only has so much energy. If it uses all its energy thinking, I am dreaming, I am in control, it has to turn down the energy for seeing the environment.
That is so interesting. You're so focused on yourself, you forget to look at the world around you.
It is a very human thing to do.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, now let us look at the scary dreams. Nightmares. What kind of language do they use?
As you might guess, nightmares use a lot of words related to fear, sadness, and anger.
That makes perfect sense. But there was one group of words that was really surprising. Family members.
Yes. Words like mother, brother, child, wife, or husband show up a lot in nightmares.
I mean, why? That seems so mean of our brains. Our family is supposed to be safe. Why is our brain making them the bad guys in a scary dream?
It is because of how fear works in our minds. Nightmares are rarely about real monsters. They're usually about someone crossing a personal boundary.
Like someone getting too close to you or breaking into your safe space.
Right, a threat to your safe zone. Now, who are the people closest to that boundary in real life?
Your family.
Exactly. Your family has the most access to your feelings. They're standing right on the edge of your safe zone.
So when your brain wants to practice feeling scared about a boundary being crossed, it uses the people who are already right there.
Yes. Your family members in the dream are not actually your family. They are just symbols.
So if I have a nightmare about my sister hurting me, it does not mean my brain thinks my sister is actually bad.
Not at all. Your brain is just using the idea of your sister to practice how it feels when someone you trust crosses a line.
Well, that makes nightmares feel a lot more helpful. They are just using honest language to practice feeling vulnerable.
Exactly. So now we understand the raw video, we captured it, and we decoded it.
Which brings us to the most dangerous part of this whole process. Section 3,
Yes. Sharing the dream.
the art of telling a dream. We have this deep, honest feeling, and we try to tell our friend about it over a cup of coffee.
And this is where communication totally fails.
It is awful. Our sources call this the 6-year-old movie plot problem. And I love this name.
If you have kids, you know exactly what this sounds like.
Oh, yeah. You ask a 6-year-old about a movie, and they say, and then the dog jumped, and then the car was red, and then they had pizza, and then the pizza blew up.
It is just a list of random things glued together with the words, and then.
It makes the listener's brain so tired because nothing makes sense. The pizza blowing up had nothing to do with the red car.
Right. Human brains need stories to have a cause and effect. A happens, which makes B happen.
But dreams do not work like that. Things just happen for no reason. This is why a famous writer named Henry James had a strict rule.
Yes, the Henry James rule. He said, tell a dream, lose a reader.
He hated dreams and stories. He thought they were boring because they had no real story structure.
And that matches the Adrian Chiles rule you talked about in the introduction.
Right. You get exactly one sentence. I dreamed my legs were carrots. Full stop.
You give the funny punchline, but you do not make them listen to the whole crazy story.
It is a good rule for making people laugh. But if we always follow that rule, we are giving up.
We are saying that our deepest feelings can never be shared with anyone.
Exactly. And a dream expert named Robert Bosnak disagrees with that completely. Yes, he defends dreams. He says dreams are not boring at all. They're full of amazing creativity.
He says the problem is not the dream itself. The problem is the person telling it.
The delivery is bad. Bosnak says that to listen to a dream, a friend has to be willing to carry a heavy burden. The burden of things making no sense.
And if you are going to ask your friend to carry that burden, you have to help them. You cannot just hand them the raw video footage.
You have to edit the video. You have to translate it for them.
And how do we do that? We use a writing trick. We use the 5 senses.
Right. Hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching.
Yes. If you really want to share a dream, you must describe how things physically felt.
Let us give our English learners an example. A bad way to tell a dream is just stating a fact. I dreamed my dog was scared of a storm.
That is just an and then. It is a boring fact. The listener feels nothing.
But if we use the 5 senses to translate it, we say this. I dreamed my big heavy dog was shaking in the corner while the lightning flashed and loud thunder shook the floor.
The difference is huge.
It really is. You hear big heavy dog and you can see it in your mind. You hear shaking and you can almost feel it.
You hear the loud thunder shaking the floor. You are not just giving them facts, you are pulling them into the room with you.
You bypass their logical brain, the part that gets mad when there is no story, and you talk directly to their feelings.
Exactly. If you want someone to care about your inner world, you have to paint a picture they can feel.
That makes perfect sense. The honest data of the dream is useless until you wrap it in a sensory experience.
And this brings us right to the waking world, because the same problem happens when we are awake.
Yes. Section 4, Waking Dreams. We are moving from the weird dreams of the night to the big goals we have during the day.
Having a big goal and needing to translate it for someone else is the main challenge in a long-term relationship.
Well, let us talk about that. How do you tell your husband or wife that you want to completely change your life?
The researchers at Purdue Extension have a great idea for this. They compare a relationship to flying a plane with two pilots.
The two co-pilots model. I like that.
When you first start dating, both pilots agree on where they are flying. You are looking at the same map.
But people change over time. Over 5 or 10 years, you get new hobbies, new feelings.
Right. And if you do not talk about it, one pilot slowly changes their map. They want to fly to a different country.
But they do not tell the other pilot. So suddenly, the plane is shaking. One person wants to save money and live in the quiet country, and the other person wants to spend all their money to start a business in a loud city.
The plane is going in circles. The only way to fix it is to share your waking dreams. You have to sync your maps again.
But the researchers say you cannot just drop a bomb on your partner. You cannot just stand in the kitchen and say, I want to move to Japan next month.
No, that will just cause a big fight. The conversation has to be very organized. You need to sit down and think about some specific categories before you even start talking.
Okay, let us go through these categories. This is how you avoid arguments. Category 1 is separating goals from dreams.
We often mix them up, but they are different. A goal is a short-term plan, like, I want us to go out for dinner every Friday. You can do that right now.
But a dream is a big, long-term vision, like, I want to take a whole year off work to travel the world.
Exactly. And the researchers say you should share these dreams using a number scale from 1 to 10.
1 means it is a crazy fantasy, and 10 means it is very realistic and going to happen soon.
Right. Now, I know you had some thoughts about using numbers for your feelings.
I did. I mean, it sounds so cold and robotic.
Yeah.
Sitting down with the person you love and saying, hello, darling, my life dream is a 4 out of 10.
It does sound like a business meeting.
It takes all the romance away.
It does, but relationship experts say this is actually a very smart trick for your brain. It stops the conversation from becoming a big fight.
How does giving it a number stop a fight?
Well, imagine your partner comes to you and says, my dream is to quit my boring office job and become a painter.
Oh, my brain would panic. I would immediately think about how we will pay the bills, how we will afford food. It feels like a danger.
Yes. Your brain sees their dream as an attack on your safety, so you fight back. You said, that is a terrible idea.
Right, you attack their dream because you feel scared.
If your partner says, I have this dream of being a painter, but looking at our money, I rate it a 2 out of 10 right now. It is just a hope, not a plan for today.
Oh, that changes everything. My brain can relax.
Exactly. The danger is gone. You realize your partner is not being crazy. They know it is hard.
By using the number, we stop acting out of fear. I can sit next to them as a co-pilot and say, okay, it is a 2. How can we make it a 4 in the next few years? Maybe you can paint on the weekends.
You turned a scary fight into a fun puzzle that you can solve together.
That is such a great tool. Okay, the next category you need to think about is what the word home means to you.
This causes a lot of quiet arguments in relationships.
Wow.
When we say home, we assume our partner means the exact same thing we do.
Right. We talk about how many bedrooms we want or if we want a big garden.
But the physical building is not as important as the feeling of the house.
What does the space actually feel like inside?
For one person, home is a quiet, safe place. They want it to be private and peaceful, a place to hide from the noisy world.
But for the other person, home is a place for parties. They want neighbors visiting, loud music, and lots of energy. If the quiet person marries the loud person and they do not talk about this, they will be so unhappy living in the same house.
Exactly. You have to ask each other, what feeling are you trying to build? What was your house like when you were a kid? Do you want to copy it or do something different?
And that leads right into the final category, roles and rituals.
Rituals are the traditions you keep. Do you always celebrate certain holidays? Do you need a kiss every morning to feel loved?
And roles are what you expect from each other. The word partner or the word parent is just an empty box until you tell each other what goes inside it.
Yes. Does being an equal partner mean you split the cleaning exactly 50-50?
Does being a good parent mean saving a lot of money for the child's school? Or does it mean coming home from work early to play with them?
If you do not explain these waking dreams clearly, you are asking your partner to read your mind.
And reading minds never works. By using the number scale and explaining your ideas of home and roles, you are doing exactly what we did with the night dreams.
Right. You are taking the messy, raw video and you are organizing it so your partner can understand it safely.
Okay, this has been amazing for relationships. But let us move to section 5, pitching your professional dreams, work dreams.
Yes, taking everything we learned and using it at your job or in an interview.
This is totally different. The audience is not your loving husband or your best friend. The audience is a boss or an interviewer.
And their main concern is not your feelings. Their main concern is, how does your dream help them?
Right, and this leads to the biggest trap in a job interview. The interviewer smiles and asks you, so what is your dream job?
It is a huge trap because they are asking you to use authentic language.
They are asking you to be totally honest, like a sleeping dream.
But we know that totally unfiltered language is a bad idea in public.
If I am totally honest, I might say, my dream job is to sleep all day and get paid $1 million. Obviously, I cannot say that to a boss.
Exactly. So the experts at Indeed say you should never name a specific job title when they ask this question.
Never name a title. Why not?
If you name a job at a different company, they think you will leave soon. If you name a job that is too high up, you sound arrogant.
So what do you say instead?
You talk about your dream job using 3 pieces: your skills, the impact you want to make, and your values.
So you break the dream down into the daily tasks that make you happy.
Right. Let us make an example. Do not say, my dream job is to be the senior manager.
Start with a skill instead. Like, I love looking at confusing numbers and finding the human story hiding inside them.
Perfect.
Okay.
That is the skill. Next, the impact. How do you want to help people?
I want to use those stories to help customers make better choices for their health.
And finally, your values. How do you want to grow?
And I really value teamwork, so I want to help teach younger workers how to do this too.
Oh, wow. If you put that all together, it sounds amazing.
It really does. You are telling them you are motivated and you want to help the company. You translated your inner wish into value for them.
But in an interview, you have lots of time. What if you only have 30 seconds? Like in an elevator. The doors close, and you are standing next to the person who can give you your dream job.
The famous elevator pitch. This is the hardest editing test of all.
It is so funny because it is exactly like the Adrian Chiles rule for night dreams. You have to keep it super short because people do not have the patience for a long story.
Exactly. No one wants to hear the 6-year-old movie version of your work history.
And then I worked at a cafe, and then I learned computers, and then no.
It has to be very organized. Indeed gives us 4 parts for a quick pitch. Part 1, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is John Simple.
Part 2, say what you do. But do not just list your tasks. Say what your value is.
I'm a manager who helps stores get their products delivered faster. Part 3, explain what you want. Share your waking dream.
I am really excited about green energy, and I am looking for a chance to help a clean technology company work faster.
And Part 4, the call to action. You cannot just stare at them when you finish. You have to ask them to do something simple.
I would love to connect with you online to see what your company does next.
Introduce what you do, what you want, call to action. 4 steps.
But the words are not enough.
Huh.
How you say it matters too. The experts call it the 3 C's: clarity, conciseness, and confidence.
Clarity means keeping the words simple. Do not use big, confusing business words just to sound smart.
Conciseness means cutting out the and-thens. Keep it short.
And confidence is about your body memory again.
Oh, like the sleeping dreams.
Yes. If you speak too fast because you feel like you are bothering them, your body shows that fear. They will feel your fear.
You have to stand tall, take a breath, and believe that your dream is worth sharing.
Exactly.
As you were saying this, I just realized something really cool.
What is that?
The elevator pitch is exactly the same as the very first step we talked about today. Charlie Morley's first step for remembering a dream.
Setting an intention.
Yes. When you stand in an elevator and tell someone clearly who you are and what you want, you are setting an intention out loud.
That is a brilliant way to connect them.
You are programming your brain's filter and the other person's filter to look for things that match your dream.
You take the messy video of your life and you become the director.
I love that. Well, this brings us to the outro of today's deep dive. We have covered so much ground today.
We really have. We started in the middle of the night Learning how to remember our hidden thoughts.
Setting an intention, waking up at the right time, looking for body memory, working backwards, and being patient.
And we learned that dreams use authentic language. It is completely honest, but it can be confusing.
Like how nightmares use our family members to practice dealing with fear. Then we learned we have to translate those dreams so people do not get bored.
We have to use the five senses to paint a picture.
And we use those same tools for relationships. We learn to be co-pilots, to use a number scale from 1 to 10 so we do not scare our partners.
And to clearly talk about what home means and what our roles are.
And finally, we learned how to pitch our big work dreams in 30 seconds, focusing on our skills and values.
It all comes back to the same idea. Your inner world is raw video. It means everything to you, but no one else can understand it until you do the work to translate it.
Your dreams are important, but their power only works when you learn how to share them.
Sometimes you keep them short with one sentence so you do not bore a friend, and sometimes you organize them beautifully to help a partner or boss understand you.
Before we go, I want to leave our English Refined listeners with one final thought to think about. We talked a lot about the different languages of dreams today.
Yes, the honest language and the planned language.
Right. Our sleeping dreams are completely honest. There is no filter. It shows what we really fear and what we really want.
It is the raw truth.
But the elevator pitch, our work dream, is totally planned. We pick every single word very carefully to impress someone else.
It is highly filtered.
So my question for you is, what happens when your honest dream and your planned dream disagree?
Ooh, that is a big question.
What if your perfect elevator pitch says you want to be a stressed-out boss in a huge city, but your honest sleeping dreams keep showing you relaxing in a quiet garden?
When your brain is fighting itself, which dream is telling the truth about what you really want in life?
Which voice do you trust when the two pilots inside your own head want to fly to different places?
That is something we all have to figure out for ourselves.
Definitely something to think about tonight before you go to sleep. Thank you so much for joining us today on English Refine. Keep translating your inner world, and we will talk to you next time.